Before we begin, I wanted to let y'all know if y'all are wondering why do I have pliers in my head? If y'all are wondering why I'm being so quiet, it's because one, my little brother's out there sleeping, and I don't want him to wake up and get all cranky, whiny. And also, there's a little kitty cat back there, and I want her to sleep. And shout out to Dahlia, she's the best kitty cat ever. You can't see her right now because it's bright as hell, but trust me, she's back there somewhere in that general vicinity. All right, now if y'all are wondering that, there's your answer. Anyways, on with the video. To quote Katy Perry, I kissed a girl and I liked it, except I'm not a lesbian. So I'm going to talk about a little story that I hold very, very, very dear to my heart. My first kiss. Now I know this might sound a little bit cringe, or a little bit silly, or a little bit dumb, but this is my channel. Make your own and make whatever the hell you want. Since I can do that, here I am doing that. So, to give you background context, I used to go to a little, how do you say this? It was like a homeschool kid get together thing, and we would all get up. It was like, I want to say 10, 13 of us, maybe? 10, 10, 12? I want to say 10 or 11, maybe. I don't know. So, like 11 of us, some odd, we would all get together, and we would mainly learn about history, but sometimes. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea what we learned about. It kind of flew my mind. I was mostly just yapping to my homies and shit. But one of my homies was this really, really nice girl. Her name was Elise. I think she was only like a year younger than me. I want to say. I want to say a year younger than me. Maybe no. Yeah, no. A year younger than me. And she was, kind of built like me. Not too slim, not too big, not too double-eyed, not too chunky. Just beefy. You know, beefy. A beefy girl. Like me, a beefy dude. And we would get along for about a year, damn near. I want to say nearly a year. Like maybe 2 months shy of a year. Yeah, 2 months shy of a year. And we would do a lot of things together. Her mom actually took me out to, it was a little diner around where we went to school, quote unquote. And it has some really nice food options there. I'll tell you what, the Philly steak at that diner was freaking delicious. The one time I had it, I got something different every time we went there. It was only like 3 times, so yeah. But we went there, and it was basically like a date supervised by your mother, basically. But we weren't dating yet. We'll get to that. After some time, I asked them. Well, no, I didn't ask them. They asked me, but I'll get to that in a second. They were leaving. They were about to leave from the homeschool thing or whatever. And her mom, and Lisa's mom, asked me, "Hey, Chance, we're going shopping real quick, and maybe I was wondering if you would like to stay at our house." And I was like, I mean, we were friends for a little bit. I feel like it'd be a perfect idea to go ahead and stay at our house for a little bit. I feel like it'd be a nice idea. And I'm like, sure, why not? What the heck, yeah. And mind you, by this point in time, me and Elise have done a lot of things. Ow, fuck my nose. We've done a lot of things. Actually, just a little bit before that, I think it was near Christmas or after Christmas, we went to, it was a strip mall up in, I want to say it was Tampa, maybe? And we bought like a lot of different stuff. We went to the movies with my mom and siblings, and it was super fun. We got our own little spot in the back. We yapped and threw popcorn at some bald guy. It was fun. It was fun. So I get in the car, and they drive to the Walmart, and I'm kind of checking out Annalise a little bit more. I'm kind of seeing what she's doing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we've been friends for a little bit. Maybe I should ask her if we, could hit it off. Start dating a little bit. Maybe ask if she likes me. So I'll never forget it. It was like a bit out of some shitty Gilmore Girls episode, straight out of Twilight or whatever filthy garbage teen girl movie you want to talk about. It was in the woman's clothing section right next to the changing room. I'll never forget it. And I'm sitting there and I'm pointing out like, oh yeah, this dress looks nice. Oh yeah, she's freaking rattling off to me. I'm like, yeah. And by the end of it, I'm like, so I kind of like you. And she's like, oh, I like you too. And I'm like, because I didn't expect her to actually say yes. I thought she would say, oh, well, maybe not. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. And then I just not talk for the rest of the evening. But she did say yes. So, you know what that means, baby? Fuck yeah! Hell yeah! I got a girlfriend now. You know what that means, baby? I'm the dude of the town. I'm kidding. But I had a girlfriend now. Temporarily. I'll get to that in a minute. So we go home, really awkwardly, might I add. And, we get home and I go to the house and it's a pretty big mobile home, I'll tell you that. We up there and it's like this tiny little plot of land. It's got a little RV off to the side, more of that in a bit. And we go inside the mobile home and it's pretty nice. It's a lot better than some mobile homes I've seen, I'll tell you that. Especially around our area. A lot of bad mobile homes because of the crackheads and the, you know what I mean. But it is super nice. It's got a cool wraparound counter. It's got a big old couch, big old honking TV. I met her brothers. They were two cool dudes. They had an Oculus. More on that in a couple seconds. I know I keep saying that, but trust me on that. And then she pulls me into her room. I'm like, oh, it's whatever. She showed me around her house. She pulls me into her room. It's whatever. It doesn't mean nothing. She turns on some giggly little girl movie, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. I mean, I'm just not my cup of tea, but whatever she wants, it's her house, her rules. And she asks, because I was sitting on her desk, I was sitting at her chair, and I was like, it's whatever. I'll give her space. And then she's like, oh, Chance, you wanna come sit on my bed? And I'm like, yeah, no. And then she kept insisting, and then I went over there and I sat at the end of her bed, and she's like, oh, you can lay down with me. I'm like, no. No, 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 no. I know where this goes. I know where this goes. It goes to child support, and I'm not doing that. I did that. I then laid up behind her, practically spooning her at this point because she pulled me up to behind her. And I'm like, mind you, this was like within hours of meeting her. Not meeting her, within hours of telling her about the whole liking situation. So we're moving pretty quick, and my brain is just like, and then as she's scrolling through reels on her phone, I'm trying to freaking put my emotions right back together. And then she turns around, gives me a peck on the lips, and it acts like nothing's happened. And I about threw up. I'll admit, I almost threw up. But I didn't. And I nearly died from shock. And we exchanged several more kisses, mostly by me, because I was freaking wilding out. I didn't know what was going on. I honestly probably blacked out. I don't even know what happened after that point, but sometime between the kissing end and then later, I want to say like an hour later, no, I did not. No, I did not do anything naughty. That's the kissing is the only thing. I know you guys will try to ask. No, kissing only. Anyways, after some time, the main part of this, the part that I remember most about is that her brothers, because everything else I kind of pushed aside again, more than that in a bit. But her brothers brought out a big old Oculus VR thing, and I put it on. I was able to play Job Simulator, and that was really cool. After that, we we sat on the couch. We watched some horror documentaries, and then she says again, "Oh, Chance, we got a little RV over there. Our grandparents like come over there sometimes when they're over here and stuff. So maybe you want to go over there and check it out real quick." And I'm like, do I have to? Yeah, I had to actually because I was the guest, and she wasn't, so I had to listen. We go over there. We check it out, and then she lays on the bed, and I'm like, oh gosh, what school did? No, I did not prepare for this at all. And then she pulls me onto the bed, and then more kisses are exchanged, and then she's like, she kind of looks like she kind of by this point looks like she doesn't like the idea of this anymore. So we say, this is weird. We both agree on this is weird. And then we break it off. We go back inside. We act like nothing happened. Her dad came home. We went to a church. It was super nice. I cried a little bit at the sermon because it was just so beautiful. I went home. Nothing happens for like a week or two. And then I get a text. Yes, a text. I know it's a little bit messed up. Like, I understand, like, but a text? Really? You couldn't have called me? Or waited? For the weekend? Damn. Like, yikes. So I get a text saying, "Oh well, maybe Chance, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this." And I could understand, she had some issues as a kid, and I felt bad for the girl. So I was like, "Yeah, I completely understand," and I get it. And I never saw her again because my mom forgot to pay the expenses to keep going there, and then they just never told her about how much she had to pay to get there, and then we just stopped going. Great, just great. Like, I'm sure you guys were expecting something out of that. Like, what's the continuation? No, there's no continuation. It just ends. It just stops. It's it's a shame, but I'll tell you what, that was one hell of a memory. I like that memory. One of my more fonder ones. One of the ones I don't look upon, and you know. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, I just like that memory. I feel like it's a nice one. And plus, that day, all in general, everything all together, even after us not being able to hit it off, was still a fun day at the end. Plus, I got my first kiss, so you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I might be doing this more format of yapping about stories about my life because I have a couple. I have a couple of good ones. I have I have some good. I have some good stories, right? Both ones in game, in reality, in the fucking backwoods of a park. Dude, I have some great stories. Trust me on this, right? Now, if y'all want me to do this, you can just say it. But some of y'all won't because this channel is like more underground than 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 LeBron's Danish rap that he listens to. I think he said it was Danish rap. I don't know. I don't know what the fit was. But what I'm saying is this channel is really underground. So any feedback that y'all want to give me is highly appreciated, even if it's negative. Truly, trust me, it's fine. All right. I don't care what y'all say about it. I'll listen. So give me your feedback. Do you like this kind of shit? Tell me. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Stay safe.